Before Day could answer, his computer chimed. He looked at the screen and his skin turned pale blue with shock. "What is it?" asked Hana. "A message from military intelligence," said Day. "They claim to have evidence that humans are planning to introduce a biological agent to Meloria." "That's ridiculous," said June. "We came in peace." "Show me this evidence," demanded Hana. Day turned the screen so they could see. It showed microscopic images of cells being attacked by something. "These are Melorian cells," explained Dee. "The military claims they found this agent in the science lab." June studied the images. Something looked familiar. "Wait," he said. "I've seen this before, in my xenobiology studies." Both Melorians looked at him. "This isn't a weapon," June continued. "It's a common microbe found on human skin. Harmless to us, but I can see how it might affect Melorian cells differently." "Are you saying humans naturally carry something deadly to us?" asked Day, his skin paling further. "Not deadly," said June, "but it could cause mild irritation. That's why we use sterilization protocols for first contact." Hana moved closer to the screen. "But the military report says this was found in concentrated form, not natural contamination." June thought for a moment. "Someone concentrated it deliberately to make it look like humans were attacking? But who would do that?" asked Day. A new voice answered from the doorway. "Someone who doesn't want humans and Melorians to become allies." They turned to see Mina standing there, her skin a determined blue. "The third species," she said. "The Vexarians, the trading partners from the next system?" asked Hana. Mina nodded. "They've had exclusive trade rights with us for decades. Human contact threatens that." "But how could they access our station?" asked Day. "They've been sending cultural representatives for months," said Mina. "Since we announced the human visit." June looked back at the screen. "So they planted evidence to make it look like humans were attacking Melorians, and manipulated our military into acting against you," added Day, his skin now showing angry red patterns. Hana's hand moved to her weapon. "We need proof." "I can help with that," said June. "As a xenobiologist, I can show the difference between natural human microbes and deliberately engineered ones." "How?" asked Mina. "The natural microbes would show genetic diversity," explained June. "An engineered weapon would show signs of manipulation." "We need to get to the main lab," said Day, "with proper equipment." "The military has the lab locked." "Down," said Hana. June thought for a moment. "What about my ship? It has a basic lab. Not as good as yours, but enough to prove manipulation." Day nodded. "I can authorize an emergency visit to your ship." As they prepared to leave, Hana's communicator beeped. She listened, then looked up with concern. "The military is searching for us," she said, "and they've arrested the Vexarian representatives for questioning." "Then we need to hurry," said June, "before they destroy the evidence, or worse, start a conflict based on lies." As they moved toward the door, June realized how strange this was. Just days ago he was worried about showing his heat signature to aliens. Now that same visibility might help prevent an interstellar incident. Sometimes being seen clearly was the best defense. Alien girl orders. "Human. Stop hiding. Strip. Down now." HFY Sci-Fi Story. The human ship floated in the docking bay, sleek and white against the curved walls of the Melorian station. June, Hana, Day, and Mina moved quickly through the connecting tube. "We have 20 minutes before the military realizes we're here," said Hana, checking her communicator. Inside the ship, Captain Lee looked surprised to see the group rushing in. "June, what's happening?" he asked. "We need to use the lab," June explained quickly. "It's an emergency." Captain Lee nodded, immediately understanding the seriousness in June's voice. "This way." The ship's lab was small, but well-equipped. June moved to the analysis station while Mina handed him a sample container. "This is what the military found," she said. "I grabbed it during the confusion." June placed the sample under the scanner. The screen showed cells being attacked by microbes. "Computer, compare to known human microbiome," he instructed. The system worked for several seconds. Then results appeared on the screen. Match found, said the computer. Staphylococcus epidermidis variant. Common human skin bacteria. Now check for genetic manipulation markers, said June. Another scan ran. The screen highlighted several areas of the microbe's DNA. Artificial sequences detected, announced the computer. This organism has been modified. Day's skin turned bright with surprise. Proof of tampering. But we need to know who did it, said Hana. The Vexarians? June studied the genetic code more closely. The modification technique looks familiar. Let me check something. He searched the database for known bioengineering methods. After a minute, he pointed to the screen. Here, this specific pattern is used in Vexarian biological research. Their companies have patents on this technique. Mina looked troubled. So, they modified human bacteria to make it more aggressive to Malorians? And planted it in our lab, added Day. To make humans look dangerous. Hana's communicator beeped again. Her skin paled as she read the message. The military has ordered the human ship to leave immediately, she said. They're claiming you brought biological weapons. We need to get this evidence to the High Council, said Day. But the military controls all communications now, June thought quickly. What about a public broadcast? Could we override the station's system? Possible, said Mina. But we'd need access to the central communications hub, which is heavily guarded, added Hana. Captain Lee, who had been listening quietly, stepped forward. There's another way. Our emergency beacon can broadcast on all frequencies. If we send the evidence that way, everyone on the station will receive it. Will it work through the station shields? Asked Day. It's designed to penetrate any interference, said Captain Lee. That's why it's for emergencies. They quickly prepared the data. June added a simple explanation that could be understood by anyone on the station. Just as they finished, alarms sounded throughout the ship. They're forcing emergency undocking, warned Captain Lee. We have minutes before they eject us. Send it now, urged Day. Captain Lee activated the beacon. The ship's lights dimmed as power flowed to the transmitter. Broadcasting, he confirmed. On screens throughout the ship, they could see the docking clamps releasing. The ship shuddered as it began to move away from the station. Did it work? Asked June. Before anyone could answer, the ship stopped moving. The clamps re-engaged. Look. Mina pointed to a screen showing the docking bay. A large group of Malorians had entered the area. At their head was an older female with elaborately patterned skin. The High Counselor, whispered Day in awe. She received our broadcast. The ship's communication system activated. The High Counselor's face appeared on the main screen. Ambassador Day, she said, we have received disturbing evidence. The military commander has been detained while we investigate. The evidence is real, High Counselor, said Day. The human xenobiologist confirmed it. The High Counselor's gaze shifted to June. Human scientist, would you explain what you found? In simple terms for all to understand. June stepped forward. Someone took normal bacteria from human skin and changed it to harm Malorians. They made it look like humans were attacking you. But the changes to the bacteria show it was made by Vexarian technology. The High Counselor nodded slowly. The Vexarian ambassador has already tried to leave our station. That seems like guilt to me. She turned to Hana. Security officer, you protected our visitor when others failed. Explain your actions. Hana's skin showed calm blue confidence. The human showed trust by revealing his heat signature. When I saw the military acting without proper authority, I knew something was wrong. Trust, repeated the High Counselor. A rare thing between different worlds. 3 days later, June stood in the grand hall of the Malorian High Council. The room was filled with Malorians and the few humans from the Earth mission. Captain Lee stood proudly beside him. The High Counselor addressed the gathering. The Vexarian plot has been exposed. They feared human-Malorian cooperation would threaten their trade monopoly. Their representatives have been sent home in disgrace. She turned to June. Human scientist, step forward. June walked to the center of the room. Without his undersuit, His heat signature was visible to all. "Your willingness to adapt to our ways helped reveal the truth," said the High Counselor. "Your species values privacy, yet you chose visibility to build trust." She presented him with a small crystal that glowed with inner light. "This is the crystal of truth," she explained. "A symbol of honesty between peoples. The first ever given to a non-Malorian." June accepted it with a bow. As he straightened, he saw Hana watching from the side of the room. Her skin showed swirls of green respect and blue friendship. Later, as the Earth ship prepared for its journey home, Hana came to say goodbye. "Will you return to Maloria?" she asked. June smiled. "Yes, I'm the official human ambassador now." "Next time," said Hana with her skin showing hints of humor, "no one will ask you to strip down." "I don't know," said June with a laugh. Being visible saved us all in the end. As the ship lifted away from the station, June watched the curved shape of Maloria growing smaller. Sometimes the greatest understanding came from the biggest misunderstandings, and sometimes to be truly seen was the greatest gift of all. After the meeting, Sunja walked June back to his room. "That was brave," she said. "Few species would adapt their customs so quickly." "It seemed important," said June. "But I'd like to know more about that device that caused the alarm." Sunja stopped, walking. Her skin showed swirls of blue and gray. "Not all Malorians welcome humans here," she said quietly. "The device was monitoring your room. Someone wanted to study you secretly." "Study me? Why?" "I don't know. But security will find who placed it." At his door, Sunja paused again. "Hana will be your security escort from now on." "The officer who wanted me to strip?" June asked, surprised. "Yes, she requested it. She said someone who would volunteer to reveal their heat signature shouldn't be guarded by anyone less vigilant." After Sunja left, June sat on his bed thinking. Tomorrow he would meet Hana again, but on different terms. He removed his undersuit and hung it in the closet. The room felt cooler against his skin. Being visible to the Malorians would make him vulnerable. But sometimes vulnerability was the path to understanding. Outside his window, the purple sky of Maloria darkened tonight. Somewhere in the city, someone had been watching him, and now he had decided to let himself be seen. "Alien girl orders human. Stop hiding, strip down now." HFY Sci-Fi Story. Morning came with a soft chime from the room's system. June woke up feeling strange without his undersuit. He dressed in his regular Earth clothes, simple pants and a shirt. His skin felt exposed even though he was fully dressed. A knock came at his door. Hana stood there, her skin a professional blue with small ripples of orange. Her eyes widened slightly when she saw him. "Your heat pattern is visible," she said. Sounding surprised. "Yes," said June. "No more undersuit." Hana's skin showed brief swirls of green. "Respect," June remembered. "Most species don't adapt so quickly," she said. "You're still warm-blooded, higher temperature than us." June nodded. "About 37 degrees Celsius. Is that distracting?" "Different," said Hana. "Not bad. Follow me. The science team is waiting." As they walked through the halls, June noticed Malorians looking at him differently. Without the undersuit, they could see his natural heat. Some seemed curious, others uncomfortable. "What do my emotions look like to you?" June asked. Hana glanced at him. "Your face shows more than your heat, but I can see you're nervous. Your neck and hands are warmer." "That's fascinating," said June. "Humans use facial expressions and body language to understand each other." "Inefficient," said Hana. "Heat doesn't lie." They reached the lab where Day and the science team waited. Everyone's skin turned various shades of purple when they saw June. "Thank you for this trust," said Day. "We can now properly study human biology." The team gathered around June, looking at him with new interest. One brought out a device and held it near him. "What's that?" asked June, suddenly nervous. "A thermal scanner," said Mina. "Standard equipment." June relaxed. "Of course, that makes sense." The morning passed with tests and questions. June found himself enjoying the work, despite feeling exposed. The Malorians seemed more open now that They could see him properly. During a break, Hana approached with a tablet. We found something about the monitoring device. She showed him an image of the small device from yesterday. It was placed by someone from the science division. She said, "But not your team." "Another team is interested in humans," asked June. "The military division," said Hana quietly. "They have their own research." Before June could ask more, an alarm sounded, different from yesterday's alert. "What now?" asked June. "Environmental warning," said Day, his skin turning pale blue. "The air system is malfunctioning." The lights dimmed and emergency lights came on. A voice spoke in the Malorian language, too fast for June to understand. "What's happening?" he asked. "Oxygen levels are dropping in this section," translated Hana. "We need to move to a safe area." The team headed for the door, but it didn't open. Dee pressed the control panel repeatedly. "Locked," he said, his skin now white with fear. "The system isn't responding." June felt his heart beat faster. "Is there another way out?" "The emergency tunnel," said Mina, pointing to a small hatch on the floor. "It leads to the next section." Day opened the hatch. Cool air rushed up from below. "Go quickly," he said. "Hana, you lead. I'll follow last." One by one they climbed down into the narrow tunnel. June followed Mina, with Hana in front. The tunnel was barely big enough for a human. They crawled on hands and knees. "Stay close," said Hana. "These tunnels connect the whole station." After several minutes of crawling, June noticed the air getting thinner. His breathing became harder. "Hana," he called. "The air." "Almost there," she replied. "Just a little further." Suddenly, a section of the tunnel ahead closed with a loud snap. A barrier had dropped between Hana and the rest of them. "Hana," called Mina. "Keep going." Hana's voice came through the barrier. "Take the next right turn, it leads to the security section." They turned right at the next junction. The tunnel started to slope downward. June's arms and legs ached from crawling. Finally, they reached another hatch. Mina pushed it open and they climbed out into a dimly lit room. "Where are we?" asked June, catching his breath. "Security control room," said Day. "But it's empty." The room had several screens showing different parts of the station. One screen showed the lab they had left. Another showed the tunnel they had just crawled through. "Something's wrong," said Mina. "Where is everyone?" June looked at the screens. One showed a group of Malorians in a room. They were watching something on a large display. With a shock, June realized they were watching him and the science team. "We're being monitored," he said. "Look." Before anyone could respond, the door opened. Hana entered, followed by 3 Malorians in uniform. Their skin was deep purple with red markings. "Military division," whispered Day, his skin pale with fear. The lead officer stepped forward. "The human will come with us." "Why?" asked June. "Your heat signature shows unusual patterns," said the officer. "We need to study you further." June understood suddenly. This was all a setup, the device, the air system failure. "A test," said the officer. "We needed to see how you would react under stress." Hana stepped forward, her skin now showing complicated patterns of blue and red. "This wasn't authorized," she said. "The human is under diplomatic protection. This is a matter of planetary security," said the officer. June realized he was caught in the middle of something bigger than a simple cultural exchange. His decision to remove the undersuit had made him visible, but to the wrong people. Alien. Girl orders human. Stop hiding, strip down now. HFY Sci-Fi Story. Tension filled the security room. The military officer's skin pulsed with deep red patterns as he stared at June. "Come with us now," he ordered. Hana stepped between them. "Ambassador." Day must approve any testing of the human visitor. The officer's skin darkened. "Stand aside, security officer. This is beyond your authority." June noticed Mina moving slowly toward a control panel. She caught his eye briefly, then looked away. "I'm happy to answer questions," June said, trying to buy time. "But I need my team present." "This is not a request," said the officer. His hand moved to a weapon at his belt. Suddenly the lights went out. The room plunged into complete darkness. For a moment, everyone froze. Then June felt someone grab his arm. "Run!" Hana whispered in his ear. "Follow me." In the darkness, June couldn't see anything, but Hana could see his heat signature perfectly. She pulled him through the door and into a corridor. Behind them, shouts and confusion erupted in the security room. June heard the military officer barking orders. "Mina, cut the power," Hana explained as they ran. "It will reset in 2 minutes." "Where are we going?" June asked, breathless. "Ambassador Day's office. He needs to know what the military is doing." They turned a corner and nearly ran into 2 more military officers. Hana pushed June against the wall and spoke quickly in the Malorian language. The officers seemed uncertain, then nodded and continued past. "What did you tell them?" June asked when they were gone. "That I'm taking you to the military lab," said Hana. "They don't know me. Security and military don't work together much." They reached a lift and Hana pressed her hand to the panel. The doors opened. "Why are you helping me?" June asked as the lift started moving. Hana's skin showed complex patterns of blue and green. "Because something is wrong. The military should not be running unauthorized tests." The lift stopped and they stepped out into a quieter part of the station. The walls here were decorated with art. Hana led June to a large door and pressed a button. The door opened to reveal a spacious office. Ambassador Day sat behind a desk, his skin turning yellow with surprise when he saw them. "Hana? June? What's happening?" "The military tried to take June," Hana explained quickly. "They set up false emergencies to test him." Day's skin darkened. "Without authorization, this violates our agreement with Earth." He pressed a button on his desk. "Security. Lock down all military access to the science wing." A voice responded, "Yes, Ambassador." Day turned to June. "Are you hurt?" "No," said June. "Just confused. Why would they do this?" "I'll write the first part of your HFY Sci-Fi story in about 800 words using simple English and third-person style with basic Korean names. Here's part 1. Alien girl orders. Human. Stop hiding. Strip down now. HFY Sci-Fi Story. The space station hummed with activity. Humans and aliens moved through the wide halls. June Kim stood by the large window watching the stars. He was the first human xenobiologist to visit the Malorian homeworld. "Impressive view, isn't it?" asked Captain Lee. "We dock in 1 hour. Are you ready to meet our hosts?" June nodded. His heart beat fast with excitement and fear. 6 months. Ego humans had no idea the Malorians existed. Now he would be living among them for a year. "Remember your training," said Captain Lee. "The Malorians look like us, but they are very different." June knew this well. The Malorians had skin that changed color with their feelings. They could see heat instead of just light. And they had very different ideas about privacy. "I've studied them for months," said June. "I'm ready." The ship docked with a gentle bump. June grabbed his bag and followed Captain Lee to the airlock. 5 other humans from the science team walked with them. "Good luck," said Captain Lee as the door opened. "Make Earth proud." A group of Malorians waited on the other side. They had pale blue skin and large eyes. Their leader stepped forward. "Welcome to Maloria," she said in perfect English. "I am Sunja, your guide during your stay." June bowed slightly. "Thank you for having us. I am June Kim, xenobiologist." Sunja's skin turned a light purple. June remembered this meant curiosity. "You are the one who will live in our city?" asked Sunja. "Yes," said June. "I hope to learn about your people." Sunja nodded. "And we hope to learn about humans. Come, I will show you to your rooms." The station was warm, warmer than humans liked. June felt sweat on his forehead as they walked through long hallways with curved walls. The other humans were taken to a different area, but Sunja led June deeper into the station. You will live close to our scientists, she explained. It will make working together easier. They stopped at a round door that slid open. Inside was a simple room with strange furniture. This will be your home, said Sanjay. We tried to make it comfortable for a human. June looked around. There was a bed-like platform, some chairs and a desk. One door led to what looked like a bathroom. Thank you, said June. It's perfect. Sanjay's skin turned yellow. Good. You should rest now. Tomorrow, you will meet the science team. After she left, June unpacked his things. He placed his special undersuit on the bed. All humans on the mission wore these suits under their clothes. They helped hide body heat from the Malorians, who might find the different heat patterns of humans disturbing. The next morning, June put on his undersuit and clothes. He ate a quick breakfast from his supplies and waited for Sanjay. She arrived, exactly on time. Follow me to the lab. The science building was large and bright. Windows showed the purple sky of Maloria. 5 Malorians waited inside, their skin shifting between blue and green. This is our xenobiology team, said Sanjay. Everyone, this is June Kim from Earth. A male Malorian stepped forward. I am Day, team leader. We are honored to work with you. The team showed June around the lab. They had been studying human biology for months. June was impressed by how much they knew. At lunch, they sat in a circle on the floor. The Malorians ate strange blue fruits and talked about their work. June tried to follow the conversation, but they spoke quickly. Suddenly, an alarm rang through the building. The Malorians jumped up, their skin turning bright red. What's happening? Asked June. Security alert, said Sanjay. Stay here. But as the Malorians rushed out, June decided to follow them. In the hallway, people ran in all directions. June lost sight of Sanjay and the others. He heard shouting from a side corridor and went to look. 3 Malorians surrounded something on the ground. It looked like a small device. Step back, ordered one of them. June moved back into the shadows. He pulled out his communicator to call the human base. Maybe they knew what was happening. Before he could make the call, someone grabbed his arm. It was a female Malorian he hadn't seen before. Her skin was deep red with black spots. She wore what looked like armor. Who are you? She demanded. Her eyes scanned him, and her face showed shock. You're hiding your heat signature. June realized his undersuit was blocking her heat vision. To her, he must look like a cold spot, suspicious and dangerous. The Malorian pulled out a weapon. Stand still, she ordered. Then her eyes narrowed. Stop hiding. Strip down now. June froze. The undersuit was standard gear for humans, but to this Malorian, it looked like he was trying to hide or sneak around during a security alert. I'm June Kim, he said slowly, raising his hands. Human xenobiologist. I can explain. The Malorian's grip tightened. Explain why you're concealing yourself during a security breach? This should be interesting. Alien girl orders. Human. Stop hiding. Strip down now. HFY Sci-Fi Story. The Malorian security officer gripped June's arm tightly. Her name was Hana, and her skin pulsed with angry red patterns. I'm not hiding anything dangerous, June said, keeping his voice calm. This is standard human clothing for space travel. Hana's eyes narrowed. Your heat signature is blocked. During a security alert, this is highly suspicious. It's an undersuit, all humans wear them here. June tried to explain. Our normal body temperature would look strange to your heat vision. Remove it, Hana ordered. Now. June hesitated. I can't just take off my clothes in a public corridor. Hana's skin darkened. Human privacy concerns are irrelevant during a security emergency. 2 more Malorian guards approached, their hands on weapons. The situation was getting worse. What's happening here? Sanjay appeared, pushing through the small crowd. Her skin showed blue ripples of concern. This human is hiding his heat signature, said Hana. He was sneaking near the device. I wasn't sneaking, June protested. I was following you all when the alarm sounded. I got lost. Sanjay looked between them. Jun Kim is our guest scientist. He is authorized to be here. But his thermal masking, Hana began, is standard for humans, Sunja finished. I should have explained this to security. Hana's skin slowly changed from red to purple. She released Jun's arm but still looked suspicious. What was that device? Jun asked, rubbing his arm. A monitoring tool, said Sunja carefully. It was, not supposed to be here. Jun noticed she didn't say more. The other Malorians were watching him. Come, Sunja said. Let's return to the lab. The security team will handle this. As they walked, Jun felt eyes on him. The Malorians they passed stared at him with new interest. I apologize for Hana, Sunja said quietly. She is our best security officer, but has never met a human before. What did she see when she looked at me? Jun asked. With the undersuit, you appear cold, like a walking shadow. To us, hiding heat means hiding intentions. Back at the lab, the science team waited nervously. Their skin showed patches of green and blue. Is everything okay? Asked Day. A security issue, said Sunja. It's being handled. Jun noticed they still seemed tense. Something about that device worried them. Maybe we should discuss our cultural differences, Jun suggested, to avoid future misunderstandings. The Malorians exchanged glances. Then Day nodded. Yes, that would be wise. They sat in a circle again. Jun noticed they positioned themselves so their heat could be clearly seen by each other. On Meloria, hiding one's heat is considered deeply untrustworthy, explained Day. Heat patterns show emotions, health, and intentions. Like how your skin changes color, asked Jun. The colors are voluntary, said a female scientist named Mina. Heat is not. It cannot lie. Jun thought about this. On Earth, we value privacy. Our bodies are personal. Privacy. Day said the word like it was new. This concept is different. For us, information about health and emotions is community knowledge. That's why the undersuits were designed, Jun explained. We worried our different heat patterns might disturb you. Instead, they make you look suspicious, said Sunja, like you are hiding something. A thought struck Jun. Would it help if I didn't wear the undersuit? Would you prefer to see my natural heat? The Malorian's skin rippled with surprise. You would do that? Asked Mina. If it helps build trust, yes, said Jun. But I'll keep my regular clothes on. Day looked impressed. That would be appreciated.